Hello, my name is Zoe DeHart, and I am presenting my research proposal. This is my little corner of my basement where I taught virtually. Um, Most of my stuff made it back to class, but some of it's still here, and it doesn't take much for me to set it back up when I have to make a video like this. So here is my slideshow that I made for everybody. Um, I broke this into my connections and my classroom connections just to kind of introduce my topic, and I wanted to just read a little bit of this. This was from my paper that I've been working on. I navigated a lot of long term health journeys, not only for myself, but most recently, my spouse went through a stage 4 treatment for stage 4 cancer, and journaling was something that aided me through that, through my mental health. It was just something constant for me to do and have on hand, and it was very mobile, so I could bring it with me to and from Philly when we were going there. And that was a connection with this class when we started in the beginning, and we had to choose our object. My object was my journal. Um, I utilize art journals in my classroom. I think a lot of us do with sketchbooks. I just refer to mine as a journal, art journal in the classroom. Um, During COVID, our lives, they were transformed, and just permanently we have altered minds because of COVID. And specifically in education, teachers and students had to suddenly learn through a screen, and our mental health, good, bad, all of it was discovered. We had a lot of learning that happened, but also the heavy, not happy, tech heavy stimulation that not only us but our students still are battling with. My students have a hard time putting down their cell phones. I know I personally struggle with my cell phone. You don't realize how long you're scrolling for. Um, I think our hands on art is so important, and especially these little short term little blips of, very beginner friendly intro to art activities that journaling allows us to do. Um, my research question is kind of in two parts, and that is, how does creative art journal influence our emotional well being? And what are the creative processes and techniques that individuals choose um, to use in their art journaling practices? The data that I created and used in my little case study was a pre journaling survey. This survey asked questions such as like their current mood, um, where they are as an art maker. If they were in a beginning level, they got to rate themselves. So um, it was all just voluntary if they wanted to fill the survey out or not. But everybody did that I tried this out with. Um, it also just asked them about their day, a challenge or a struggle or something that was going well. I had a little age bracket for them to select where they fell, because I saw myself doing a larger study where I would offer this to adult level, whether that was my coworkers, staff, um, or parents. And there was a little part where people would circle where they fall in that range. Um, they then moved into, I did this with a couple of my classes on days that were disrupted because of bell schedules being changed because of field trips or early dismissals, things like that. So when I say they, I'm referring to the small amount of students that I tried this with. Um, we did a little 20 to 30-minute creative journaling session where I just had supplies out for them that they were familiar with, and they could pick from 40 different prompts. They chose one, and then they just did whatever they wanted for those 20 to 30 minutes. Concluding that, they had a little pre or post survey that they filled out, and it rated their how they were feeling again. Did it stay the same as the pre journaling survey? Did it improve? Did it go back? Um, and how likely did they feel that they would do something like this again on their own? Um, that was another question that was asked in the post journaling survey. So that was my data. I did have some things I thought I could add if I did do this again, where it might be asking them like a survey question or like interview. to just kind of talk about what they created. Um, that was just something that I had in mind after I tried this out. So the methodology that I connected with my little case study was social constructivism and rhetorical assumptions. I have a huge ESL population, English language learners. We call them Ls as well. Um, there's already a natural scaffolding in place, and I just feel like journaling is a good connection for that. Mental awareness, and also just making those therapeutic connections to the art room. So the social constructivism, the reason I connected with that with this case study was just my passion for human interactions. I love observing. I love listening. I think teachers are natural listeners. We naturally bond with our humans through art. My L's, they are drawn to art because it's very visual, no matter what our language is, no matter if there's barriers or not. Like art is a natural, I keep saying the word natural, but it is. It's a natural fit. I have learners that are in all different grades in one class. I teach intro to art at Reading High. I have mostly ninth grade, but I have 10th, 11th, and 12th graders that are mixed in. Um, their reading and writing levels, like I mentioned before, their language levels are all different. They're all over the board. Um, Mobilities, I have students that use mobility aids, hearing aids. Um, some have para support that comes with that. Um, so art is just a good connection for all these levels. There's a lot of voices also to be heard in social constructivism in the art room at a high school, diverse like mine. Um, Also, I selected this methodology because of the wide range of documentation that I knew I could collect if needed for an actual research project. Um, Not only the surveys, but the actual art pieces and possibly like verbal or audio interviews if I would go that direction. Um, the rhetorical assumptions, this would allow me to have that first person storytelling that I just think the art room is already encouraging of, whether that visually or verbally explaining, our art and why we were making what we're making. Um, I think that that's just a really good connection for our students, parents, and teachers that we can all connect with. Rhetorical assumption also I didn't feel was as formal as some of the other um, methodologies. Um, and I think navigating all of this through like arts based creative journaling is just a place where we can utilize the emotions as they are abstract. So, journaling for wellness, the reason or like some more connections that I am lending myself to this was I could have students of all different artistic styles and themes within the journaling. It's not like a cookie cutter um, project. Having their options, I had watercolor available, I had color pencils, paper, all different types of paper available, magazines, collage, things like that. Um, it really was a choose your own adventure because there were so many choices of not only material but prompts. Um, the post journal surveys, I used those as like a check-in to see if the mental like wellness had changed at all. In the future, I would really like to do those digitally, although I'm trying to get away from the digital, so I don't want to do them digitally. But I do like the idea of how the Google Forms could create a graph, and that would be just another visual. Um, I don't know that I took enough. I guess I did. I did about 12 students that I was able to gather these from, and that would be enough to make different graphs. But I like the paper version because, again, I'm trying to encourage that hands on mobility and tactile pen to paper nature of it. My conclusions that I'm just like going to wrap up is I envisioned this project to be something grand. And I just think that after like researching and writing and collaborating with everybody over these weeks, it just was a very parallel to teaching. Things shifted, things changed as we got to know our research topics better, as we got to know our students better. Um, Things aren't predictable. We need to be able to pivot, not only our research topic, but also teaching. Um, it did say, like, I was able to collect a small portion of creative journaling from my students. Um, some were able to complete what they wanted to. Others came back and asked to do it again. It was nice to see how the students connected with creative journaling. Um, I would like to see this on a bigger scale. Um, I would also, like I said, like to have like interview questions, like a script for my people that are doing this as an interview option. So if they aren't wanting to fill out paperwork, I could just verbally have them storytell about how they're feeling. I like that narrative better than the paper. But again, that's if time lends or I do this further. So, well, it was nice meeting you all, and thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, please comment, and I will see you all real soon. Thank you, and have a good day. Bye.